Yay Networks.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Casillejos, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. My name's Nick Adams.
I'm Anna.
Amy.
And I'm Lacey G.
And guys, it is just, I don't know where to begin. I don't know how to start. This is going to be a little chaotic, but we're doing it. Red, Taylor's version is here.
Happy Taylor Swift
Oh my
Day.
goodness.
Oh my God. Oh
Did
my
y'all
God.
practice that?
No.
They're just naturally in sync. This isn't their
Yeah,
first
I guess.
time.
Does this not feel different than Fearless when it was re-released?
Absolutely.
It does, but why?
We've had a really long time to look forward to it.
Mm-hmm. And it was a surprise. It was a surprise, too, because we were being fed that it was going to be 1989. So then whenever we were given Red Taylor's version, and the fact that she says that All Too Well is her favorite song, and this was one of the only times that lined up with her fan favorite as well. So everybody's been anticipating the 10-minute version of All Too Well, and I think that's what the big difference is. Everybody was excited for Fearless. Fearless is a fantastic album, but Red just hits differently.
And I guess she kind of she mentioned it that All Too Well, it wasn't a single. It never had a music video, but it was the fans that really made it to be like, when you think of the Red album, you think of All Too Well. And I guess, yeah, when we knew we were getting the 10-minute version and then the short film, I think, I don't know, I feel more just like emotionally connected to this album. Maybe. Do you guys feel the same way? I don't know. Well, this is also a heavier album than Fearless.
Much
Right.
heavier.
I just feel emotional.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into like everything, like the nitty gritty details, how did everyone start listening to Red? Because that was a big talk among Swifties. How do we listen? Straightforward, like start with State of Grace? Do we go to the bonus songs? Do we go to All Too Well 10-minute version? What did everyone do? Amy, how did you listen to it first?
I wanted to start at the beginning, so I started with State of Grace. And I have not heard all the songs on the album until I was going through it. And Treacherous threw me for a loop. It was the first time I think I heard it. And I was like, oh, my God, this is so good.
Lacey, how did you start listening to the album?
Okay, first off, I have to apologize. I keep muting myself. Someone is mowing right outside. I don't know if you can hear it. I am so sorry. I'm about to go shake my fist at them. Do they not know what today is? Get away from here. Anyway, no shocker at all. I went straight to All Too Well 10-minute version. I was flipping back and forth between that and Fallon and obsessively texting with Anna all night.
Anna, how did you listen?
I had to listen to Come Back Be Here first because that song just has a hold on me that I cannot even describe. And then I did All Too Well 10-minute version. And honestly, I kind of skipped around. I listened to like all of my favorites. I told myself I'd only listen to like a few and then go to bed, but I ended up listening to a lot. And I was like, okay, and I even texted Lacey. I said, I need to listen to the 10-minute version one more time before I go to sleep.
Why not, right?
So I'm running on like 2 hours of sleep, and I've been drinking coffee and wine this morning.
Wow.
So I'm a little shaky, but like in a really, really good way.
Well, and it was fun. I'm sorry, Nick. And also it was fun because I let Anna kind of take the wheel for me. Since this is my first time listening to it, I let Anna tell me what order to go in as well.
Yeah, she was texting me like, what's next?
Yeah.
So I just went straight for the vault songs. I just went straight for, it was the first one, like Better Man. I think I just went straight for whatever the bonus songs are and just went through that.
In order.
And so I did not start with 10-minute All Too Well. That was the last from the vault song that I listened to. And I mean, do we start talking about All Too Well right now? Initial reactions to 10-minute version?
Yes.
Yeah.
It did. Okay. When the song started playing, was anyone like, what song is this?
It was slow.
It was different.
It was a little different. And, well, and like the first verse was the same. And then I think it was kind of around like the maybe like 2-ish minute mark is when it started to like change, when it was new lyrics. And I'm going to be honest, I started tearing up a little. Yes, because of the story, because of the lyrics. But at first I started tearing up because I was like, oh my God, this is a song that I love so dearly. And it's It's different. It's her version. I got so emotional about the actual, like, the 10-minute version without even, you know what I mean? This is hard to explain.
Yeah.
Well, and there's just been so much build-up for this 10-minute song. We've heard it's been in Taylor Swift lore for so long.
Years.
And then we found out we were going to get one, and now it's just crazy. But it's almost like whatever the new lyrics to me sound like a completely new song. Like the singing pattern and cadence and just the instrumentation is just different. And then all of a sudden she's back into the All Too Well we're comfortable with, and then she switches it up again.
Yeah.
It surprised me. I did not think it was going to go like that, which I love. You know, it wasn't what I was expecting, but I love to be surprised. So I was really happy about that.
Here's a little bit of the different vibe that she's giving us in All Too Well.
Oh my God.
That's not the All Too Well that I've known, and I love it.
Oh my God. It's so beautiful. And I know we did a whole episode on, like, haunting lyric, but I am just a crumpled up piece of paper, I guess.
And guys, have you guys looked and read the new lyrics?
Yes.
Jake Gyllenhaal, man. Like, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt for a long time, but she just destroys him again because he destroyed her. Some of the lyrics that she says that are new, she sings, you said if we had been closer in age, maybe it would have been fine, and that made me want to die. So when they first started dating, she was 20, he was 29.
Mm-hmm.
Then she goes on, and she was saying, some actress asked me what happened. You. That's what happened. You.
Oh, my God.
And that's my favorite line.
And that
is my favorite line.
And I was never good at telling jokes, but the punchline goes, I'll get older, but your lovers stay the same age. So I went and looked up Jake Gyllenhaal's girlfriends after Taylor Swift.
Oh, my God. Who did he date?
So he dated an actress and a model. Her name's Jessica Launis. She's roughly the same age as Taylor.
Okay.
Then he dated Minka Kelly. She's 10 years older than Taylor.
Okay.
But then he went and dated a model named Alyssa Miller, who's the same age as Taylor. And now he's dating a girl named, I think it's Jean Cadu. She's a model. She's 25. So she's a lot younger than Taylor.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like a 15-year age difference between her and Jake. So that was interesting, I guess, to hear
It's obvious that this is not the 10-minute version she recorded originally. This is something different because she wouldn't reference all the people that he's dated after.
I guess.
But I think it is, though.
I mean, she wrote the song like a year or two after they split, I think, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because she had said that when she like wrote this like 10-minute version, it was like at a rehearsal or something.
Yeah, for Speak Now. It was on her tour rehearsal.
Yeah, and she kind of just like started just like going and kept going and kept going and kept going. And her sound guy happened to be recording it. And so they did have like lyrics. So she said these are all the original lyrics.
Whoa.
So.
Okay, that blows me away.
But maybe Jake already had that reputation of dating younger,
so.
You know?
You want to hear some more terrible lyrics for Jake?
Yes.
She says, the idea you had of me, who was she? A never needy, ever lovely jewel whose shine reflects on you, not weeping in a party bathroom. You had charmed my dad with self-effacing jokes, sipping coffee like you were on a late-night show, but then he watched me watch the front door all night, willing you to come, and he said it's supposed to be fun when you're turning 21.
I want to cry.
What?
I want to cry just like hearing those.
She brought her dad into the song, and her dad noticed how she wasn't enjoying her life.
Well, and we've known that Jake ditched her on her birthday. This we know. She talks about it in The Moment I Knew, and then she talks about it again in, like, I want to say Coney Island. Like, we know that this is something that had happened. And so for her to mention it once again, like, that is a gut punch.
I have some of my other favorite lyrics, and I swear this whole thing is not just going to be an All Too Well 10-minute version stand because there's so much to talk about, but he's going to say it's love. You never called it what it was till we were dead and gone and buried. Check the pulse and come back swearing. It's the same after 3 months in the grave. And then you wondered where it went to as I reached for you. But all I felt was shame, and you held my lifeless frame. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
I cried on that one. I did. Yeah.
Oh,
I never
goodness.
cried during listening to this song. That did it.
Yeah. I cannot believe that she wrote these lyrics at such a young age.
Yeah, she was 20
Like
or something like that, right?
Yeah, this is crazy. And I also felt the same way, not to, change topic, but with the song Nothing New. Those lyrics also I thought were just a punch in the heart.
Yeah, some of her lyrics on Nothing New are the ones that are really sticking to me today. After just listening to the album a time or two, what's sticking with me are some of the lyrics to Nothing New.
Yeah, I think like first listen, because we've only had this album for 10 hours, and we're gonna break it down, and in a few months, we're gonna go. We would have gone through every single song on the album, but at first listen on the record, I think my favorite vault track is Nothing New, and that could change, and I'm excited to come back and listen to this in a few months. But
yeah,
so what is everybody else's favorite vault song other than All Too Well?
I mean, mine would be probably Nothing New. She has a line in here that says, "Lord, what will become of me once I've lost my novelty?" She's singing about like double standards and stuff like that in this song. And will you still want me when I'm nothing new? Are we only bidding time till I lose your attention and someone else lights up the room? Wow.
Unbelievable.
What about
Amy,
you guys?
what's yours?
I think All Too Well 10-minute version. Sorry not to step on your toes, Lacey,
Wait,
but I'm sure. What?
I kind of, when I talk about the vault songs, I kind of talk about, like, I don't include All Too Well 10-minute All Too Well 10-minute version to me is its own entity.
It's different.
Like when I said Nothing New is my favorite vault song, that's like aside from All Too Well 10-minute version. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think the question, what's your favorite vault song, like in parentheses, is apart from All Too Well 10-minute
not
version.
that one.
Yeah.
So Amy, where does All Too Well stack up now in your rankings?
No, I need to break it down. I need to wait. I need to hear it at least 20 more times, and then I can place it.
So my favorite, besides All Too Well, because that is just gut-wrenching, gut-punching. I was insane last night. I'm so glad that I had Anna to kind of guide me, because I'm like, I don't know what to do. Do I watch this? Do I listen to this? Do I drink wine? Like, what's going on right now? And she's like, calm down, grab some wine. We can do this together. My favorite song, and I've never heard it before, I didn't realize somebody else did it, Better Man. With those lyrics, the bravest thing I had to do was run. I just wish you were a better man. Better to be alone than to be with a man who could change his mind. I gave you my best, and you know that we both can't say that. And I don't listen to country. I had no idea that was a song by Little Big Town, but that's a beautiful, beautiful song. So I think Better Man would be my first favorite outside of All Too Well. And then The Very First Night. I also like The Very First Night.
Yeah. They're incredible. One of the things that I really love is I Bet You Think of Me featuring Chris Stapleton.
That's my third.
I have a whole list on. It's also about Jake Gyllenhaal, and she's ripping him apart because she sings about. She calls him Mr. Superior Thinking because he thinks he's better than her. He doesn't take her seriously. He rolls her eyes at her. She sings about a snobby guy that grew up in Beverly Hills, which Jake graduated from a high school in Beverly Hills. And so like
she
it's
talks
another
about
one.
the cool indie concerts again.
Yes.
She talks about I don't have to be your shrink to know that you'll never be happy. Ooh.
Yeah, at the end of that song, she says, I bet you think of me when you're out at your cool indie music concerts every week. I bet you think of me in your house with your organic shoes and your $1 million couch. I bet you think of me when you say, oh my God, she's insane. She wrote a song about me.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh my God. I'm dying to know what, like, whenever she sat down 10 years ago and was like, I need to cut some songs from the track list, I want to know why these were cut. You know, I mean, I love all of the songs that are on the album. I think, I love all 30 tracks, but I want to know her thought process, like what made her think, yeah, maybe I shouldn't put out Better Man, or I shouldn't put out.
But I don't think that it was necessarily her decision. I think that her record label had a lot to do with that decision making, right?
I don't remember if it was like actually quoted by Taylor or her record label, or if it was just like lore in the SwiftTEA community, but that, her record label still wanted her for it to be somewhat country.
Yeah.
So she had a bunch of pop songs. So they only let her have like 3 overt pop songs on the album. Those were going to be I Knew You Were Trouble, 22, and We're Never Getting Back Together. And those were written by some Swedish songwriters, Martin and Shellback. And they've written like every pop song in the last 30 years. And so like Message in a Bottle was also written by them with Taylor at that time. And so I think maybe that just had to be cut to keep the album somewhat, quote, more country, I guess.
Well, and she said she was saving some of these songs for the next album, but then her music kept evolving. So she had intentions of, I've got too many songs. I can't fit them all on this album. I'll just save these for the next one. And then she's going through different emotions and her music's still changing. So these just got left off.
Well, I've got to say that.
And I'm not saying her record label didn't have something to do with it, but that's what she has also said.
Well, I think waiting a whole decade was definitely worth the wait.
Absolutely.
So
for that 10-minute version of All Too Well.
What are some of our listeners saying on social media? Because Anna had posted a little message on social media on Instagram just saying like, hey, tell us your thoughts. And I know a lot of people responded.
Well, it's so cute. Well, Amy turned our logo into like our red version logo, which is so cute. So I posted that at the 13 podcast. I was actually really proud of my caption because I wrote, after your first listen, come back, be here, and comment all of your initial thoughts. So I thought that was really fun. You guys should go look at this post and see, what everybody's saying. A lot of people are loving, of course, the 10-minute All Too Well. A lot of people are trying to, listen to the subtle differences. Somebody said, I think Stay, Stay, Stay is really a lot better this time. Like you can hear the maturity in her voice. Someone said, I'm already crying. I've been crying. This excitement is just overwhelming. There's a lot of Swifties that posted like really long paragraphs about what they really think, which is amazing. And there's like sparking conversations on the post also. But here, let me read a few comments. Gabrielle said, I bet you think about me murdered me. Rosie said, message in a bottle and the 10-minute version of All Too Well are my favorites. The 10-minute version is 100 times better. And honestly, I didn't originally love All Too Well, but now I love it. Let's see. Kels said, I need another Haunting Lyrics episode for just the vault songs.
I'm scrolling through here, and Nicole, she wrote, the number of podcasts this week is just chef's kiss.
I know someone else sent us a DM, and they were like, the best part about Taylor being so unhinged is that we got so many emergency episodes.
We do, yes, there's every day.
Oh my gosh.
Well, so last night she said that they're doing a premiere of All Too Well, the short film in New York, which just made me even more upset that we're not there this weekend because we were hoping to go to SNL, could have gone seen All Too Well, the short film in New York. Of course, none of that ended up happening, but it is so exciting to be a Swiftie, and it's just been a crazy several hours, and we still have a long day to go until we've got the All Too Well film.
It really is. We're working overtime here. The Swifties are gonna need to take a vacation next week to recover from everything that's happening this weekend.
You think we're working overtime? What about Taylor?
Yeah.
She's not stopping. She's absolutely not stopping.
And I have a feeling that there's more in store. Like I have a feeling that she's not done surprising us just yet. So I'm really excited. I think we're going to kind of take the weekend to just, really dive into all of our emotions and everything, and then come back next week and hit the ground running.
It's exciting. It's going to be fun.
So I would like to say, if it's okay, since this was pretty much my first time going through the album, I had to just pull the trigger and figure out which first two outside of the vault songs I can't get out of my head. And my number one at the moment is The Moment I Knew. What do you say when tears are streaming down your face in front of everyone you know? And what do you do when the one who means the most to you is the one who didn't show? And that's, of course, talking about Jake Gyllenhaal not coming to her birthday. My second is I Almost Do.
Yeah, I Almost Do has always been in like my top 2 tracks of this album. I would also like to point out that a few episodes ago, I called it and I said Lacey's favorite song was going to be The Moment I Knew.
I forgot that. Yes, I love that. That one's just sticking in my head. I absolutely love it. Amy, do you have any favorites yet?
Yeah, I mentioned before Treacherous. Treacherous, I don't think that I've heard before, and I had no idea. It kind of blew me for a loop.
Yeah, and the quicksand, I did mark that as one of my faves because it's so hard whenever you're just taking it all in for the first time to pick one. It's hard to pick them anyway. It's hard to pick them whenever we know all of them. Now it's really hard to pick them.
Well, this is going to be our life for the next 6 months.
A long time, man. It's going to take us a while to get through this, to digest everything. But
we do have a listener that did some SwiftTEA math for us, and they said if you continue to do what you're doing and do one song per week, we're going to be in our red era until June 7th of 2022.
Woo, that's long. Maybe we'll have to double up one week.
Yeah, we'll figure something out for sure. Okay, also, I just want to mention one thing because I know that we are all absolutely crazy. And yesterday I had to text you guys saying, I know I'm crazy, but do any of us have a Capital One card?
I don't.
And the answer was no.
None of us.
And I said, find someone at work. Did you, Anna?
Well,
did you find us a Capital One card?
Well, I'm very nervous because I have a feeling in my SwiftTEA senses that Taylor's not done surprising us. There's something still like in the horizon. I don't know. I just feel it. And for some reason yesterday, Capital One on Twitter was like tweeting saying like, so it's something about, November 12th, like Capital One cardholders are going to get something special. And then also yesterday, Taylor Nation just happened to drop tour-related merch. So I'm nervous about a tour announcement being around the corner. Mm-hmm. And with Capital One being a little sus on Twitter, I'm like, oh my God, is there going to be some sort of, pre-sale? So I'm already contacting everybody I know to get us a Capital One card. Just in case.
And there has to be because I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe they're just jumping on the bandwagon because everything is so Taylor related right now. I'm waiting for my Starbucks Taylor drink to be delivered to me at this moment. So, but you can't do that. Like, there's no way that they're lying about it because they would get so much hate.
They didn't say anything about a tour. They also, like last week, they had a Capital One discount to get the vinyl record. Taylor has been partnered with Capital One for years. When I asked my boyfriend if he had a Capital One card and he said no, and I told him, I was like, but what if there's a tour announcement? He was the one that told me, he was like, it could be so many things. Like, even he knew that Capital One was one of Taylor's, endorsement. You know what I mean? So this really is me just jumping to the highest conclusion.
It's wishful thinking.
You know what that means? I think we're all insane Swifties. I think that means whenever we need a moment of sanity and we need to be talked down, Ryan's going to be our go-to guy. We're going to have to call Ryan whenever we need some actual reasoning.
For the first time in our 6-year relationship, last night he went to bed before me because I was listening to the album.
So
it was such a great night, though. It's been such a wild ride. It's been so much fun.
I'll take some advice from the 3 women that I'm talking to right now. So today is my 10-year wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Would it be weird if I just listened to Taylor Swift just all night and day? Like, is that, this is such a sad album. I can't have that playing in the house. I can't have, anher woman that I'm mildly obsessed with playing while I'm, eating dinner with my wife.
No, you can pull, you're not in your all too well era. You're in your stay era. You go to your wife and you say, you took the time to memorize me. My thoughts, my fears. You just the whole bridge. You say you want to hang out with her for the rest of your life.
Okay, but it's going to be exciting. So come back next week. We're going to be breaking down the All Too Well short film that we'll get to see Friday night, and then we're going to be breaking down Saturday Night Live, which I would like to say who called that she's going to be singing 10-minute version All Too Well on SNL?
You just got me scared.
You sure did.
You just got me so scared.
I
thought you were about to say, oh, and by the way, I'm going.
No.
Thanks for listening to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.